Okay, I want to talk today about playing the finite game or the infinite game.
Jadi kita mau membahas tentang finite game atau permainan terbatas atau yang permainan yang ada akhirnya, ada infinite games. Infinite games itu adalah game yang tak terbatas.
Right, and what you're going to look, stay on slide one, please. Stay on slide one. Slide one. Don't move. I'll tell you when to move to the next slide, Narnia. Thanks. What we find is in most businesses and in life today, most people play what we call the finite game.
Jadi kebanyakan orang-orang yang ada di dunia ini, mereka melakukan yang namanya finite games atau permainan terbatas.
But I want to talk today about how your success and being successful for companies or people or individuals or in relationships or in life, it's more important to play the infinite game.
Tapi untuk orang bisa menjadi sukses, orang bisa menjadi besar, orang bisa menjadi luar biasa, kita harus juga tahu caranya bagaimana melakukan infinite game atau permainan tak terbatas.
So just in short, I'll explain what finite means. Finite means having boundaries. It means it's a game with boundaries. The infinite game has no boundaries.
Jadi finite games adalah permainan yang ada batasnya, batas akhirnya, ya, ada akhirnya. Dan infinite game adalah permainan yang tidak terbatas.
Right. So an example of that, playing football, sepak bola. That game is a finite game.
Jadi contohnya bermain sepak bola. Bermain sepak bola itu termasuk namanya finite games atau permainan terbatas.
It's a finite game because it has boundaries. It has rules. It has a goal. There's a way of playing it. You know the players you're playing against, and you play under the same rules and the same boundaries and the same, it's the same strategy. And there's an end result. There's a time period that you've got to finish the game in. So it has boundaries. That's football, sepak bola.
Ya, jadi permainan sepak bola mempunyai boundaries atau batasan-batasan seperti peraturan-peraturan, jumlahnya pemain dan waktunya, ya. Jadi ada batasannya, terbatas. Setelah waktunya habis, ya sudah habis gitu gamenya.
An infinite game has no boundaries. It has no finish line.
Kalau infinite game itu permainan yang tidak terbatas itu tidak mempunyai garis finish.
Okay. So what I'd like to do now is I'm just going to give you some examples in life, historic examples, and just general life examples of how we can use, how finite games are used in infinite games, and examples of how they've been used in the past, in present, and in the future.
Jadi Troy mau kasih gambaran perbedaan antara finite games, permainan terbatas, dan permainan tidak terbatas di kehidupan yang masa lampau, masa sekarang, dan nanti yang kedepannya.
Okay, so back in 1968, I don't know if everybody was aware, there was something called the Vietnam War.
Jadi balik ke tahun 58, itu ada perang yang namanya perang Vietnam, ya. Nans, right. Yang kedua, Nans.
And it was the North Viet Cong. You can go to the next slide, Narnia, thanks. It was the North Viet Cong versus South Vietnamese and the US forces.
Jadi sambil cerita, gitu ya. Narnia kasih tampilkan ini. Keren.
Tolong mic-nya dimatikan ya, Pak. Jadi itu perang antara Vietnam Selatan dan Vietnam Utara, ya. Viet Cong dengan Amerika, ya. Vietnam.
Now, I don't know if everyone knows what the result of that war was, but I think the war ran over the span of about 5 or 6 years. It was quite a long war. There was a lot of casualties, a lot of deaths. There was a lot of media all over the world about the war, but it went for some time. And the result of the war was the North Vietnam, they won the war.
Ya, jadi perang itu berlangsung cukup lama ya, 5-6 tahun, dan banyak di media-media menceritakan tentang perang tersebut dan sebagainya, dan hasil akhirnya adalah dimenangkan oleh Vietnam Utara ya.
But what was interesting about the war was the North Viet Cong, there was 3 million people that died on the North Viet Cong that died during that war.
Ya, di Viet Cong itu, yang Vietnam Utara itu dia sebenarnya korbannya 3 juta orang. 3 juta orang yang meninggal.
And in the American forces, the losing side,
dan di sisi yang Amerika, di sisi yang kalah justru,
their total loss of life was only 55,000.
Mereka hanya korbannya hanya 55.000.
And in the battles during those 5 or 6 years, in fact, history will show that the Americans won most of the battles against the North Viet Cong. Battle to battle, fight to fight, different events over the country. The Americans won most of the battles.
Nah, bahkan kalau kita lihat lagi ke belakang, berdasarkan sejarah, setiap peperangan-peperangan yang terjadi itu selama 5-6 tahun itu kebanyakan malahan dimenangkan oleh Amerika dibandingkan dari Viet Cong itu.
But they lost the war.
Tapi ternyata Amerika tetap kalah dari perang itu.
They lost the war because they pulled out.
Mereka kalah karena mereka tarik prajuritnya keluar dari sana.
They gave up because they ran out of resources. They just couldn't continue. Their resources were diminished. They were gone.
Karena mereka menyerah karena fasilitas resource-nya semua sudah habis.
Now, the reason why I give this as an example was the American strategy was a finite strategy.
Nah, kenapa alasan Troy ceritakan ini adalah karena Amerika punya strategi adalah strategi permainan terbatas.
And the North Viet Cong, their strategy was an infinite strategy.
Dan untuk yang Vietnam Utara, yang Viet Cong itu, mereka menggunakan infinite game atau permainan tidak terbatas.
Which means that the Americans, they went into the war with an idea of finishing the war in a given amount of time, with a given amount of resources. They had their strategy in place. They had a plan that they'd beat the Viet Cong and they'd do it in this time frame with these resources. And when that didn't happen, they had to pull out.
Ya, jadi kenapa? Karena Amerika membatasi bahwa saya cuma punya sekian banyak orang, saya cuma punya peraturannya seperti ini, batas waktunya juga terbatas sampai sekian. Pokoknya semuanya ada batasannya. Sedangkan Vietnam Utara itu sampai titik darah penghabisan.
Whereas the North Vietnam, they were willing to die for their country. There was no end game for them. They were willing to fight to the death, and the Americans weren't willing to do that. And so the Vietnam were playing the infinite game and ended up winning the war.
Ya, jadi Vietnam Utara itu yang Viet Cong itu dia melakukan infinite game. Mereka membela negaranya sampai titik darah penghabisan. Mereka tidak peduli berapa banyaknya korban untuk membela negara tersebut.
And if I'm not mistaken, Pak Amruli, maybe you can help me with this. If I'm not mistaken, it's probably no different to Indonesia's independence, 76 years ago, where they were controlled by, a Dutch colony for 350 years. But eventually, Indonesia got its independence. And I think it was no different. I would imagine that Indonesia, the whole time was playing the infinite strategy where they just wanted their freedom. They just wanted their country, and they were willing to do anything to get their country back. Whereas the Dutch, their strategy was just to I suppose, get as much as they could out of the country. They were trying to take the resources, trading. They were just looking for a short win, where the Indonesians, that was their country, and they were willing to do anything they could to get their country back. So the Indonesians had a very infinite strategy or infinite mindset, where the Dutch, I guess, was a very finite strategy and a very finite mindset.
Ya, jadi katanya coba benar nggak nih Pak Amrullah, katanya Troy tadi dia bilang Indonesia juga sama seperti yang tadi cerita Viet Cong, bahwa mereka dijajah oleh Belanda 3,5 abad, 350 tahun, tapi akhirnya Indonesia menang dia kemerdekaan 76 tahun sekarang ya, sudah 76 tahun merdeka. Dan mereka Indonesia melakukan infinite game. Dia pokoknya membela negara sampai titik darah penghabisan. Sedangkan Belanda mereka melakukan strateginya permainan terbatas, finite game. Mereka tidak mau berkorban sebanyak-banyaknya, mereka ada batasan korbannya. Sedangkan Indonesia, pokoknya yang penting Indonesianya merdeka, betul nggak Pak?
Ya, benar sekali Troy, betul.
That's true, Troy.
Okay. So, and then, let's use a company as an example. I'll give you another example. You've probably all heard of Microsoft and Apple.
Nanti yang berikutnya, Nan. Dan kalian coba Troy mau kasih contoh lagi yang berikutnya. Perusahaan Apple sama perusahaan Microsoft ya, semua udah tahu ya perusahaan ini ya. Semua dua perusahaan raksasa terkenal ya.
A person I follow on Instagram and YouTube is a guy named Simon Sinek. He was lucky enough to be invited to the Apple Summit and also the Microsoft Summit.
Ya, Troy ngikutin Instagramnya Simon Sinek. Dia sangat beruntung sekali dia diundang ke summitnya Microsoft maupun summitnya atau pertemuan besarnya Apple juga. Jadi dia diundang dua-duanya.
He said when he went to the Microsoft Summit, this is where they talk strategy about their future. When he went to the Microsoft Summit, he said all the executives, the high-rolling executives in Microsoft, they did presentations, and all their presentations was all about how to beat Apple, how to kick Apple's ass, how to beat them in the marketplace. That was what every presentation that the top executives spoke about, was how to beat Apple.
Ya, jadi di summit itu atau di pertemuan besar itu, para petinggi-petingginya Microsoft waktu si Simon datang ke sana, semua mereka presentasinya itu adalah mengenai bagaimana caranya mereka bisa mengalahkan Apple, bagaimana mereka bisa menjadi lebih baik dari Apple, bagaimana mereka bisa menguasai pasarnya Apple. Semua tentang bagaimana mengalahkan kompetitornya.
Right. And then when he went to the Apple Summit, it was different.
Lalu Simon juga pergi ke summit atau pertemuan besarnya Apple. Ternyata sangat berbeda sekali di sana yang dibahas.
In the Apple Summit, all the top executives, when they talked about their strategy going forward, they all talked about, how they could help teachers teach better. How could they help students learn better? That was their strategy and that was their presentation. That's what their future was all about. How can we make teachers teach better? How can we get students to learn better?
Jadi pada saat di summit atau di pertemuannya Apple, para petinggi-petingginya itu membahasnya ternyata jauh sekali di Microsoft. Petinggi-petingginya Apple membahasnya adalah bagaimana caranya supaya kita bisa membantu guru-guru untuk mengajarkan lebih baik lagi kepada murid-murid. Dan juga bagaimana caranya membuat murid-murid supaya bisa belajar lebih baik lagi dengan bantuan kita. Nah, itu yang mereka bahas. Ya, yang di Apple bahas.
So two very different strategies. You had Microsoft that was very focused on the competition, which was Apple, very focused on beating them, winning the game. Well, that was a finite strategy. They had a finite mindset.
Ya, jadi Microsoft itu sangat terpaku pada bagaimana caranya mengalahkan pesaingnya, bagaimana menjadi lebih baik dari pesaingnya. Itu yang menjadi mindsetnya si Microsoft. Sehingga Microsoft itu melakukan strategi yang kalau tadi kita bahas adalah strategi finite game atau permainan terbatas. Dia cuma batas pikirannya bagaimana mengalahkan pesaingnya.
Apple, on the other hand, was obsessed on where they were going.
Sedangkan Apple obsesinya itu adalah mengenai kemana kita akan berada nanti ke depannya.
Microsoft was obsessed on the competition.
Microsoft obsesinya cuma tentang kompetisi mengalahkan Apple saja.
An example was Simon Sinek said, when he was at the Microsoft Summit, they actually gave him a gift. And one of the gifts they gave him at the Microsoft Summit was this little product. I think it was called a Zoom product, believe it or not. It was called a Zoom. And basically it was like an iPod Touch, right? I don't know, everybody knows what an iPod Touch is. It's like you can listen to digital music with your headsets, but it was a Microsoft version of iPod Touch.
Ya, jadi Simon bahkan dia mengatakan waktu di summit atau di pertemuan besarnya si Microsoft, si Simon itu dikasih gift atau hadiah ya, cenderamata, produknya kalau nggak salah namanya Zoom, katanya Troy, namanya Zoom. Itu alat untuk memutarkan lagu-lagu seperti iPod. Kalau kalian tahu mungkin iPod untuk yang produknya Apple. Nah seperti itu. Jadi alat pemutar MP3 player kayak gitu, alat pemutar lagu. Ya.
Yeah. And Simon said he actually shared a ride in a taxi to the Apple Summit with an Apple executive, and he turned around, he thought, I'm going to give this Apple executive a bit of curry here, and he said, you know what? He said, I was at the Microsoft Summit, and they gave me this really cool Zoom product. He said, wow. He said, it's so much better than your product, so much better than the iPod Touch. And this is what he was saying to the Apple executive in the taxi ride.
Ya, dan pada saat si Simon itu pergi ke pertemuan besarnya, ke summitnya si Apple, si Simon itu dia pikir, wah ini berhubung saya naik taksinya bareng-bareng sama salah satu eksekutifnya Apple, dia pengen kasih tahu, ngomong-ngomong saya tadi dari pertemuannya Microsoft, saya dikasih ini loh, cenderamata ini, alat pemutar MP3 player. Ternyata ini jauh lebih bagus dari produk Apple kamu, katanya. Dia bilang, ini jauh lebih bagus, katanya.
And the Apple executive's response was, yeah, no doubt, probably is. That was his response, and that was it. Itu aja. Jadi
terus kemudian responnya si orang Apple-nya itu dia bilang, oh ya mungkin nggak perlu diragukan lagi, mungkin memang lebih baik, katanya. Cuma itu doang komentarnya.
And what it basically means is the infinite player or the infinite strategy like Apple. He says the infinite player understands that sometimes your competitor has a better product than you, and sometimes they're ahead of you. They understand that.
Jadi pemain-pemain infinite game, ada permainan yang tidak terbatas seperti Apple, mereka mengerti kadangkala di luar sana mereka bisa menghasilkan produk yang jauh lebih baik dari kita. Mereka mungkin yang lebih hebat dari kita.
Right. But they understand that. But all
mereka sudah tahu.
All they're focused on is going forward. They focused on. Sorry, Enrico.
Ya, tapi si Apple atau pemain Infinite Game mereka lebih berfokus kepada apa yang ingin dicapai jauh ke depan sana.
Their focus is on how do we become a better version of ourselves? How do we become a better company than we are today?
Jadi selalu Infinite strategi itu mereka melakukan seperti bagaimana sih caranya supaya saya bisa menjadi versi terbaik diri saya sendiri, versi yang lebih baik dari diri saya sendiri. Jadi selalu memperbaiki diri, mencoba untuk memperbaiki diri.
Right. Unlike Microsoft, how do we beat Apple?
Ya, sedangkan Microsoft cuma berpikirnya adalah bagaimana saya mengalahkan dia, itu aja. Bagaimana saya mengalahkan Apple, hanya itu aja pikirannya. Sedangkan Apple berpikirnya jauh, dia berpikirnya adalah bagaimana saya bisa menjadi lebih baik lagi dan lebih baik lagi.
And it doesn't matter what position you are in the company. If you're a merchandiser, a trainer, a leader, a marketing manager, an assistant manager, an owner, divisional manager, vice president, it doesn't matter who you are. If you're going to be truly successful in our business or in life or in any business, you've got to learn to play the infinite game.
Jadi entah apapun sekarang ini posisi Anda, entah masih kru, masih merchandiser ya, masih leader, masih asisten manager atau masih manager, bagaimana caranya kita membuat diri kita jauh lebih baik lagi dan lebih baik lagi.
You've got to be looking at the long game. Your decisions you make have got to be based around looking at the long game, looking at the infinite strategy. When you have decisions based on the finite game and on a short-term goal, your decisions are going to be different than they would if you're playing the infinite game.
Jadi kita harus bisa memikirkan apa infinite game kita, strategis kita yang akan kita ingin capai. Kalau kita cuma melakukan permainan terbatas saja, otomatis hasilnya akan jauh berbeda dengan kalau kita melakukan strategi infinite game.
An example, if we see this often, we see a guy wants to become an assistant manager, and he does, he's working really hard, but his whole focus and everything he focuses on is how to become an assistant manager. So everybody he talks to or everything he does is all about achieving that goal of assistant manager, and that's all his focus is.
Ya, seringkali kita melihat ada orang yang dia fokusnya dia pengen menjadi asisten manajer. Jadi apa yang dia bicarakan, apa yang dia fokuskan, apa yang kesehari-harian dia lakukan, pokoknya dia ingin menjadi seorang asisten manajer. Dia usahakan untuk capai posisi asisten manajer itu. Ada ya?
Right. And that's all they focus on. And then often what happens? The
Dan
person
seringkali
the manager
dan apa yang terjadi? Dan seringkali setelah orang itu menjadi asisten manajer, apa yang seringkali terjadi?
Crash. Sales drop. They lose half their crew. Everything just drops away because they've hit their goal, they've done everything, and then all of a sudden, bang! It just drops. It falls away.
Begitu dia capai goal tersebut, sampai ke posisi asisten manajer, tiba-tiba apa yang terjadi? Semuanya turun, prestasinya turun, omsetnya turun, krunya turun, semua hilang berantakan.
Because it's a finite goal. You were aiming at one thing.
Kenapa itu terjadi? Adalah karena kalian cuma finite game, melakukan finite game atau permainan terbatas, sehingga kalian merasa bahwa itu sudah akhir dari perjalanan kalian.
And we see the same thing when people become owners, become divisional managers even, and sometimes even vice presidents. The same things have happened where, all your focus is on achieving that goal. And then once you've achieved the goal, it's like, everything just drops away.
Ya, jadi bahkan itu juga terjadi di posisi owner atau manager, divisional manager, bahkan vice president sekalipun bisa terjadi kejatuhan itu karena mereka melakukan strategi finite games atau permainan terbatas.
So you've got to
mereka merasa bahwa udah capai.
You've got to learn to have an infinite mindset.
Jadi apa yang kita harus pelajari mempunyai pola pikir yang infinite, pola pikir yang tidak terbatas.
Sure, you have finite goals.
Tentu kalian harus punya goal yang finite, goal yang kalian ingin tuju.
Yeah, it's important to set yourself a goal to be a leader, to be an assistant manager, to be an owner, to be a divisional manager, a VP. It's important to set those finite goals, of course.
Penting sekali, tentunya otomatis kita mempunyai goal finite juga, goal yang terbatas juga, seperti kita pengen jadi asisten manager, kita pengen menjadi owner, kita pengen menjadi divisional manager, kita pengen menjadi vice president. Tentu.
But above
itu
all
penting.
that, you've got to have an infinite mindset. You talk about with your people every single day. What is it you're really striving for the long term? What is it you're really trying to do? And, it's got to be more than just, I want to be an assistant manager or I want to be an owner. It's got to mean a lot more than that. It's got to be a game that's probably has no finish line. That's how you're going to inspire others to follow you.
Ya, tentu kalian harus mempunyai infinite games, tapi kalian harus punya visi yang infinite. Visi yang tidak terbatas, visi yang besar sekali, sehingga pada saat kalian menceritakan pada orang-orang akan tertarik dan akan ikut dengan kalian.
And you can just go a few slides here, Narnia. I've kind of explained finite. We've got the meaning of what finite, it has boundaries. We've just talked about that's the meaning, it has limits or boundaries.
Ya, jadi kalau finite game itu artinya mempunyai batasan, terbatas, mempunyai limit.
Infinite.
Kalau infinite
is limitless.
Artinya tak terbatas.
So,
Sangat
for
besar.
example, Apple's infinite strategy was teach teachers to teach better. How do they help students learn better? That's an infinite strategy. That's something that they're going to be striving for forever. It never ends.
Jadi infinite strateginya Apple adalah bagaimana membuat seorang guru bisa mengajarkan, dengan bantuan Apple itu bisa mengajarkan murid-muridnya dengan lebih baik lagi. Bagaimana seorang murid dengan menggunakan produk Apple bisa belajar jauh lebih baik lagi. Itu mindset yang infinite.
Whose goal or strategy seems more motivating to you? Microsoft, where their strategy is, we're going to beat Mac. This is how we're going to beat Mac. That's their strategy. Or would you be more motivated to work for a company that says, how do we help teachers teach better? How do we help students learn more? What is more inspiring for you to work with, an Apple or a Microsoft?
Apa yang membuat kalian termotivasi? Apakah perusahaan seperti Microsoft, di mana mereka hanya terpaku pada bagaimana caranya mengalahkan Apple, bagaimana kita jauh lebih baik dari Apple, hanya itu saja, atau perusahaan Apple di mana mereka punya misi dan visinya bagaimana caranya membuat guru jadi lebih baik lagi, mengajarkan pada murid, murid lebih baik lagi, belajar sesuatunya, visi misinya lebih luas. Yang mana yang kalau kalian punya kesempatan bekerja, kalian pilih yang mana? Otomatis pilih yang Mac ya.
Infinite game. Infinite game. Infinite game.
Infinite game.
Infinite game.
Infinite game.
Infinite game. Infinite game.
Guys, kembali lagi. Ya.
Oke, mic-nya tolong di-mute lagi ya. Ya, mic-nya tolong di-mute lagi. Thank you.
Infinite game.
Roy, your mic is mute, Roy. Roy, your mic is mute.
I mute. Okay. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I didn't even do that. Maybe Narnia did it for me. Yeah. So I think it's quite obvious, to be successful as an individual in life, and as a company, it's about having an infinite vision, an infinite strategy. And you've got to have that in your offices, with your crew, in your life. You've got to think of the bigger picture. You've got to have I want to become I want to be a VP. There's got to be more to it. And you've got to come up with a vision that's going to inspire others, that's going to inspire you to keep driving forward. If you just got a short-term goal, once you hit it, where's your motivation then? It drops.
Ya, jadi kalian harus punya strategi infinite atau strategi yang tidak terbatas, yang luas, yang besar. Ya, kalian juga harus punya visi yang infinite, ya, yang artinya visinya yang luas, yang besar, sehingga pada saat kalian mencapai finite game kalian atau finite goal kalian, goal terbatas kalian tidak hanya puas di situ saja, kalian tetap masih punya visi yang besar. Dan strategi yang luas.
Cool. What's the next slide, Nadia? Please, the next slide. Okay, I won't go through all this, but it's self-explanatory, and we're going to share all the slides with everybody later, so you'll have this deck to check it out later. But these are things that we've already gone through, some of the rules of finite game and infinite game.
tidak Troy bahas satu persatu, nanti semua nanti akan diserahkan untuk ininya apa topiknya ini kepada kalian ya supaya kalian bisa baca-baca lagi.
Okay, next slide.
Yang berikutnya, Nan.
The objective of an infinite personal company is how do we become a better version of ourselves? I think we already hit on that.
Ya, jadi tadi sudah dibahas ya bagaimana kita menjadi versi yang terbaik dari diri kita. Kita senantiasa evaluasi diri kita untuk menjadi lebih baik lagi setiap harinya, setiap saatnya.
I know when Pak Amrullah and I, when we have our product meetings and strategy meetings, we talk about our goals and vision going forward. We never talk about the competitors anymore. I guess we used to talk about them a long time ago, but these days we don't even mention them anymore. We just talk about how can we make our business better? How do we make our company and our opportunity better for everybody else? That's all we talk about, right, Pak?
Ya, jadi seperti kayak misalnya Troy sama Pak Amrullah sedang meeting, mereka meeting produk ya dan meeting strategi, mereka selalu membahas bagaimana caranya kita menjadi lebih baik lagi, apa yang kita harus lakukan supaya kita menjadi jauh lebih baik lagi dan lebih baik lagi. Kita tidak pernah membahas tentang kompetitor dan sebagainya. Dulu banget itu pernah, tapi sekarang sudah tidak pernah lagi. Betul nggak Pak Amrullah?
Unmute.
Mic-nya di mute.
Ya, betul sekali, Troy.
Kita membahasnya untuk kita menjadi lebih baik dan lebih baik lagi, visi misi ke depannya. Itu saja yang dibahas setiap meeting Troy dengan Pak Amrullah.
Yes.
So just to finish off, I've just got a slide, the last slide coming up. And I think this really, says who we are. Well, I think this is who we are as a company. We're striving to change people's lives. And I think that's what I think about every single day is how can we make a difference in people's lives? How can we strive? How can we do better to make other people's lives better? How can we make a difference? And I think that says it all, striving to change people's lives. And I think that's who we represent.
Jadi inilah yang setiap saat, inilah yang menjadi siapa sih CDSI itu, siapa sih bisnis kita itu kita adalah orang yang pengen berusaha untuk mengubah hidup orang banyak. Ya, orang itu menjadi lebih baik lagi. Apa yang kita harus lakukan sekarang ini untuk kita bisa membantu orang untuk menjadi berbeda daripada yang sekarang. Berbedanya jauh lebih baik lagi. Itu yang menjadi pemikiran setiap saatnya dari Troy dan Pak Amrullah saat ini. Ya.
Just by that, thank you very much.
Itu yang jadi motonya CDSI. Terima kasih banyak.
Please follow me on Instagram, all you guys. I'd really appreciate it. That would be nice. And subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'd really appreciate it.
Ya. Terima kasih untuk mendengarkan Impact dari Troy. Follow Troy di Instagramnya dan subscribe di YouTube-nya, YouTube channelnya. Terima kasih. Selamat malam.
Thanks, Pak Amrullah. These slides will be available for you guys. I think Narnia will let you know where you can get the slides if you're interested. But yeah, let's strive for infinite vision and infinite strategy going forward. Just by that, pass over to Pak Amrullah. Thank you.
Ya, jadi nanti ininya bahan meetingnya bisa diserahkan nanti ke teman-teman sekalian. Terima kasih buat waktunya. Terima kasih buat Pak Amrullah. Dan mari kita berusaha untuk mengubah hidup orang banyak. Yus.
Thank you. Thank you guys. Yes, thank you.
Terima kasih banyak, Troy.
Thank you.
Terima kasih banyak.
Sekali bergabung di Zoom ini malam ini. Oke guys, kalian berikan ucapan selamat terima kasih kepada Pak Troy.
Thanks, Pak.
Ucapan terima kasih kepada Troy. Masing-masing kantor silakan.
Good.
Subscribe bisa boy. Oke guys, banyak sudah ya. Saya sudah kasih. Terima kasih kepada Pak Troy
Baik, Pak.
semuanya ya. Oke, dipastikan kembali speakernya. Kepentingan kembali semua speakernya.
Apa dengar?
Itu semuanya ya, dikasih ucapan ya. Oke, kesimpulan dari meeting kita hari ini, cuman ada dua pilihan kita untuk berhasil. Apakah kita menjadi pemain terbatas atau pemain yang tak terbatas? Pak Mullah sangat yakin 1.400 calon manajer yang bergabung malam ini, kalian semua adalah orang yang punya visi menjadi infinite game, mengerjakan game yang tak terbatas untuk mencapai gol-gol besar kalian. Ingat kembali guys, apa yang menjadi misi Pak Troy, misi founder kita adalah menciptakan orang-orang yang sukses, yang berhasil dari bisnis ini. 86 asisten manajer juga jangan menjadi seorang pemain terbatas. Kalian harus menjadi infinite game. 34 project manager dan 128 kantor di seluruh Indonesia hari ini akan punya goal menjadi pemain-pemain yang tak terbatas. Jus untuk kalian semuanya. Cukup jempol aja, nggak usah aktifkan speakernya. Ini akan akan kirim leader-leader kalian untuk kalian akan pelajari semuanya. Materi, rangkuman materi malam hari ini juga akan kita kirim ke leader kalian semuanya. Sukses untuk kalian semua. CDSI is the best. Ewako.
Hey! Dua, tiga.